Hello everyone. So this is something that I've wanted to do for a while, but today what I'm going to be doing is a developer commentary for my SkyTemple ROM hacks. And today we're just going to be looking at Reaching for Myself, or RFM, which I made for the 5th Jam last year. As you can see, I'm actually on the version 1.0. I have worked on the game since then, but I've never actually released an update. I kind of wanted to get around to that soon, maybe like before the end of the year. But what I kind of wanted to do was just to explain a few things. I know I said some stuff in the SkyTemple podcast with Smingle. I kind of wanted to say more because I feel like I didn't get to explain everything, and that's kind of what I want to do with these commentaries. If I do decide to make more, which I probably will. Depends on other circumstances. So I am gonna go through the whole game. I don't have a script, so most of the stuff is what I say is improv. But I have rehearsed a few lines beforehand, like throughout the day. Just been thinking about, remember this. Probably also going to upload this raw because I don't want to have to deal with editing like a multiple-hour video. Additionally, I will not give a damn about spoilers. I'm assuming that you have played seen the entire game first, so I won't be reading dialogue at all, and I'll just assume what happened throughout the story. So if you don't know, I would recommend stop watching this now and either go play it yourself. The download link will be in the description, or you can watch other playthroughs, like from PMD Gain, Argonian, Chession, Smingle, Parker. I think they've all have playthroughs on YouTube. And but regardless, so I'm gonna be screen's flickering for me on OBS. I don't know if it's doing that for you guys, but I also hope I'm not too loud. I did a sound test beforehand and it seemed fine. So Reaching for Myself, which I honestly wish I could have picked a better name. Since looking back on it, it does sound weird, but I did have a reason for picking this name. Originally, the game was supposed to be called Riolu Mystery Dungeon. Yeah, original, I know, but I just couldn't think of a name at the time. And actually, a lot of the spreadsheets and files that I had used the RMD acronym. So for the custom music, which you'll get to hear in this commentary. Excuse me. In my folders, it's listed under RMD. So. But I think it was 8 actually told me the name just sounded too bad. And so the reason why I picked the name Reaching for Myself is in the Contain community, there is a term called EFM, which is Expiating for Myself. Essentially, you're playing a multiplayer game by yourself, where instead of one person looks at the bomb, the other has the defusal manual, one person has both. It's not the intended way to play the game, but people do it anyway. And the acronym EFM, I kind of wanted to bring over. So the original title I had was Envisioned for Myself. But then I thought, what if I had the acronym be RFM, which could also stand for Riolu Fluttermane, which I decided, that could work. What can I do? And it just shows Reaching for Myself, because reaching out for things to look after for both Sapphire, but also just reaching out to gain the powers for Sirios. But yeah, looking back on it, I probably would have chose something different, maybe with the same acronym, but I don't know how another verb, or I think it would be a verb that begins with R. So this was, I actually had the idea for this hack around December 2022, kind of shortly after Scarlet and Violet came out, and I took like a couple months to think about it more. And then when the 5th jam was coming around, I'm thinking, you know what, I can probably actually start, using this idea since I have a solid idea. And that's kind of what I did for the first 2 jams as well. Or not the first 2 jams, the other 2 jams that I participated in, the first and the 4th one, where I made Explores the Unknown and Cryptic Conundrum. But those are for another video. And 3rd times in a row, I got lucky with the topic, and so I just kind of went from there. So I'll explain more about it as I play through the game, which you've probably been asking. Let's just actually start. There we go. So this part was meant to imitate like the personality quiz, except it's rigged because of Sirius's powers. So you'd always pick Riolu. This static object, I just found like a green screen static like thing on YouTube and removed the green screen. That took a while to do, but I think it looks pretty nice. It's hard to see like the top half of it during the actual cutscene, but I kind of made it a little bit darker there. And the point of that was to act, as a VHS to skip through it. And originally I wanted to have the aura ribbon or aura bow in there as well, but I couldn't get it to work. And another thing I originally wanted to have in there during the sound effect, which I basically took samples from the theme you're hearing now, Welcome to the World of Pokemon. And also has a do-do-do-do-do kind of little jingle I put in there as well. But originally I also wanted to have the sound effect for like the beep sound effect for when you like select an option and have that echoing. So kind of like he's picking the options like you are. And it was inspired actually by Gygus, because I believe you can hear similar sound effects during one of his phases. There's like a whole theory on that, and actually don't know a whole lot about Earthbound, but I just know about that. But the way that I did the whole multiple choice thing, it plays the sound effects anyway, so I have to drop that, unfortunately. For like the cassette noise, I also just found it on YouTube. I put it in the credits. And funny enough, and someone figured this out too, is that those questions will always lead to a male Riolu, regardless of if they're rigged or not. So like, here I'm going to get Sassy, which is Sassy and male gives you Riolu in Sky. And fun fact, Riolu is actually a male-only starter in Sky. So all the questions in there give points towards the sassy nature. In case you didn't know, the way that the personality quiz works is the questions have nature points assigned to it. So when you hit a certain option, it'll give more points to that nature. And after all the questions, whatever nature has the most points will be the one you get. So all those, or actually I think that's like the best possible case if you want Riolu, answer all of those. But anyway, this is not different from vanilla. Oh yeah, I just noticed I'm recording in 30 frames per second, but even though like the game runs in 60, that's just choice I have it. Although I know 60 or 30 looks a lot worse for Sky specifically, but ugh. This background was, I actually did not know this at the time. The first place I saw this background was in Pikachu's Great Adventure. I thought it was a cool background, but then I later learned it was actually used for debugging in Rescue Team. But you know, I thought it fits perfectly in here. And for this jam in particular, I didn't want to like spend a whole lot on commissions. It was kind of on a commission budget, and I mean, not only would it save me money, but also save me time having to find like good backgrounds or wait for good backgrounds to be made. But you know, I just thought I'd use this, kind of cutting corners, but also, you know, time management for making this in 3 weeks. I Want a Pleasant Day, I believe, is, I mean, I believe I know, is also a thing from like a old PMD machinima about a Pikachu stealing from Kecleon. And also that door object, actually, I had to insert that myself. It's just the same one from Igglybuff's house. Sirios, it's an anagram of Osiris, which is a pharaoh, Egyptian pharaoh of something, I don't remember. I think Lucario is kind of based around it. But it also kind of sounds like Sirius, which is like, I think it's Canis Major, but I could be wrong. This is kind of just filler. Oh yeah, that was a fun little bonus. So I know that Sirius kind of just bends the reality to whatever he wants, but some of the stuff he says is true. But the premise that I, in retrospect, was trying to go for here is that he hasn't gotten used to his powers yet. And some of this is just genuine. It also apparently takes place before Teddy Ursa evolves, but I think I was just lazy. Oh yeah, at the end of the day, like this is like my third hack in a row that uses at the end of the day for the start. It's kind of become a staple in some way. So here's something that I've never understood about vanilla is, you know, if the guild boards are only meant for guild members, then why are the other teams that are in here, why are they in here if they're not part of the guild? Like all the teams that periodically come down to this floor. And, you know, I was thinking like, okay, they're taking the leftover missions that the guild members haven't took. But I still think it's weird, and I kind of wanted to use that a little bit here, except Riolu's getting first priority. Yeah, Corfish. So, hey, because, you know, Sirius is changing the dialogue. Every single line Corfish says, hey, or like most of them. And yeah, Riolu actually usually takes the Outlaw Notice board. But, you know, like, why not try this for a change? Like, the one day you do something different is when it just escalates into something a lot more for you. Like, a much bigger deal. Something I actually forgot to mention. This game has a lot of debug prints in the dialogue scripts. Essentially, Sirius is kind of conveying his thoughts in the debug script. So if you play with like debug on, you'd get a lot of like random text messages or just text boxing. And I feel like no one has really talked about it. Like I told it the 8X, but I'm pretty sure not everyone is like I said, I don't think anyone has spoken about it, but there's a lot of cool stuff in there. I don't remember what I wrote in there because, you know, I can't see it, but if you ever have interested, like, go check out some of the stuff that he says. It kind of explains more of his thought processes behind his actions in the story. Additionally, he usually, like, curates the missions to do whatever he wants, but this one actually he didn't need to. This page right here is part of the diary from Mr. Meal 3. I think it's from something else, but I don't know what. Well, like, I did know at one point, but I don't remember. Genuine reaction. And Riolu, like, screw the gloom and doom, let's be happy. Marine Resort. I've been to Marine Resort a lot as a kid for IQ grinding. It's like a dungeon I have a big history with. So I kind of wanted to implement it here. Yeah, this Lapras, people have their own headcanons with Lapras, but I don't really care. Oh, you can't see the top screen map, but it's just going to Marine Resort. It's the exact same location as in Vanilla. This background is like one of the friend areas from Rescue Team, but with some of the stuff removed, like some of the houses. It was used in Merchants vs. Pirates. It was made by Keck, and I asked him if I could borrow it, and he said yes. Pineapple houses. It actually implied that Sirius just generated items out of thin air. But, you know, he wants to hide that from you, unless if you're reading the debug prints. Snobby rich kids. Basically, I had this other idea for a hack. It was a Salamence, part of a team to save SkyTemple from, like, the multiverse. Like, a multiversal threat. By, like, going to, like, ROM hack dimensions and saving them from, like, an evil threat that goes around into, like, the other dimensions. Finding them. I think Parker wanted to do something similar to that. And the first dungeon of the games is like, I'm relaxing out here in this like beach area. There's snobby rich kids I have to get through. That was like the Salamence's like response to like some kind of telepathy or even just some other kind of technology to communicate. And it was going to have like starters. So it was going to be the tutorial dungeon. That hack idea got scrapped, so I kind of reused it here. 16 minutes the first dungeon. And this is something that I had a little bit of complaints about in some of the 6th Jam games when I was a judge. Some games just took forever to get to the first dungeon. Like some took half an hour and some took like 45 minutes. And I wanted to be a little bit different. I just wanted to get into the action right away so you're not bored. Or like turn it to like a visual novel for the first part of the game, so you actually do get to do something. I mean, not only just to try and make the playtime like a little bit shorter, and just to make it fit within like a 2-hour recommendation, which I went over. I think most people took 3 hours. But also to avoid that issue I just mentioned. Brand new ROM hack. I'm going to change that in the next update, but I thought I would get an update out within like a month or two. I just never got around to it. And also, I'm never doing this again with the tips. Playing with the tips off, or tips on, for debugging is miserable, and I'm not going to do it again. You know, the tips, 8x made a special process to disable the item tips, but keep these tips on. But, I still don't want to deal with them again. And yeah, this is also, throwing shade on, Dukumon, or Dukumoner, because he uploads, like, pre-patched ROMs to his website. And this part was, it's a joke. But like Daniel Stigman, who I played Catan with, like once said mail bomb and pipe box did a pipe bomb and mailbox. And that part's here to make it funnier. This UI, the numbers and letters are actually from Black and White 2. I mean, some of them were custom made or made by Alex or Ether Splats. I'm really happy with it. But there is some issue that if I can find it, I'll get to you later or get to it later. And the HP bar is also actually based on Riolu's color scheme. The music here, it's a thing. It's from a Flash racing game called Raccoon Racing. I played a lot of it as a kid. I just realized the 447 Poke. That's Riolu's Pokedex number for National Dex. Forgot I did that. And you start with these items, just so you don't die right away. But yeah, there's a course called in that racing game called Pirate Island. It just sounds so good, especially for like the late 2000s, early 2010s when it came out. I don't remember exactly, but yeah. Anyway, let's actually start playing the game. Oh, of course, gotta do this. So yeah, here's the starters. Now, I had to actually nerf these because they were way stronger in testing. Some of them like wouldn't go down in one hit. that's the thing with starter stats. And I'm sorry, Sunk, for disobeying your dungeon guide. Move accuracy. Sky's moves are notorious for having really low accuracy, and that's something I wanted to address in Explorers the Unknown by like doubling it, or kind of doubling it, relative to perfect accuracy. But here I kind of wanted to take a step further to make it where most moves have 100, and the ones that aren't that can miss are labeled clearly, and enemies have these as well. I wanted to make it more consistent, especially for the jam game. When my goal of the gameplay for this game was to make it consistent and tolerable, to make it not as RNG heavy, and just so not only people would get less frustrated, but also to make them where they don't spend as much time. And another thing is, I would not do a system like this. I mean, I would do a system like this, but I wouldn't color the moves, because there's a lot of things that get messed up when you color moves. When you, like, a move gets disabled, it usually goes in the dark red, but I have to keep it green. I actually had to go in manually just to make the green moves stay green, but only for the moves that you can learn. And I would probably do like a symbol before the move if I had to do this again. And this is something I did in Cryptic Conundrum. I did it here. I think it's really cool. Like, inspired by Sunk, who, like, so Sunk's philosophy, and I think this is also from Shiren as well, is that every enemy is supposed to have a specific purpose. So I kind of wanted to do something similar here. And that reminds me, I also like removed every single move in the game that boosts evasion or lowers accuracy for like the same reason, of trying to keep it consistent. The moves you have work up. There's a lot of custom moves in the game. These are actually based on Riolu's Gen 9 level up learn set. And so these are like 4 moves that he can learn naturally through leveling up. And including Rock Smash, because there's like some moves that are missing. I got from... You know how there's Dexit in Gen 8? Well, there's also the... Excuse me, Boof Dexit in Gen 8 as well. Yeah, so... but yeah, Rock Smash is actually quite a readily available level up move in Gen 9. This was another gameplay decision I made to make it where people who are playing the game can just get through it. I think someone tried to do something similar. Like, oh yeah, it was in Sonotic. I think they tried to like do the same thing where you die, you go back to the same floor. Restart the dungeon, lose half your items and money. So I know that Explorers the Spirit made it where this punishment of losing items is just removed. But for me, I just still wanted there to be like an incentive to not die. So I just did this instead. And in this part, you lose all your items and money for 1 reviver. So this is kind of like just to keep going, really. But like you said, you do lose your stuff. And I think I already explained it. These items, I took treasure boxes and then repurposed them for the relics. There were 12 different types of treasure boxes, so I made 12 different relics. The way that I did this actually is because in a Pokemon stats in SkyTemple, for box drops, there's 4 different fields. The first one is for no drop. And then the others are for box 1 drop. I think it's just for regular items. And then type 1 exclusive items to type 2. I don't know for sure what it says. But those all correspond to like 3 item entries that are all named the same. So what I did to make my life easier was I went through all the enemies in the game and made it their box drops only on the first kind of box. And the other 2 were left at 0 and then no drops. I don't know what percent. I think it's either made like 1 in 10 or 1 in 12. But they drop a box, or a relic in this case. And I made them 12 different colors based on the relic and just the color palettes I had available. And I thought it was really cool. I'll get more into this later. They give you exclusive items, and again, I'll talk about this later once we get to Treasure Town. The red crit text and the other things like IQ skills being in blue and abilities being in orange, that's from Explorers the Unknown. I just think it's kind of cool and kind of a quality of quality of life to showcase or just to differentiate what's caused by an IQ skill or ability. IQ skills, both Riolu and Fluttermane have a custom IQ group, which has like 30 different IQ skills. And I think Gummies race, it's either 5 times or 6 times as much as normal. I think I wrote it down in a dungeon hint, which I'll also get to later when the game tells us about it. And yeah, so we start with a lot of IQ skills like Bodyguard, Non-Trader, PP Saver, Survivalist. And both of them are curated for kind of like the purposes I want them to fill, both in story and in the dungeons, excuse me. And the reason why, you know, a lot of like hacks that I've seen, you get gummies, it's just like a worse apple because, you know, grinding IQ takes forever in vanilla. And like other hacks, like let the music play, like also took like great advantage of this, is to make where gummies are much more useful, and because you're gonna get a skill more often than not, like pretty much every time. So I'm glad that I think it's way better than you know, having them essentially be worse food. Although funny enough, unless if you have a beneficial like or a stab like type matching gummy, it would be beneficial to hit a grimy trap. They turn into grimy food and they restore more belly. Yep, there are no monster houses in the game. That is a true statement. And this was also done just to like make the jury's job of playing the game a little bit easier. Since I know some people don't mind them, but other people hate monster houses. So I just wanted to essentially curate the game's difficulty to make it fun to play through. This is the only one of 2 times I've actually used like a rock smash thing in the game. There's just an oranberry here. The gimmick was custom fixed rooms, which, you know, I should have maybe used Cryptic Conundrum fixed rooms, but I didn't want to do that again. So I just kind of stuck with that one and then this one, and there's a few more. And this is also like starters having really strong stats. Based on the Spanish Inquisition by Monty Python. That skit is just so funny. Most of the dialogue that they have is pretty much ripped straight from that skit. And then Paldea is based on Spain, so Paldea Inquisition being the 3 Paldea starters. Guys are role players. Quite funny because Riolu or Sirius is probably the biggest role player in the entire game. Sprigatito is kind of made to be like the leader. Quaxley's just there. Free Coco doesn't want to be there. And I actually used these 3 again in Mystery Mail 4. I wish they would have stayed because they were killed in the next scene after mine. But I thought it was funny. Bouncy text. This is actually can be done using mostly vanilla stuff. There is one special process that I used in here, but it was actually just to detect button inputs. The only thing I don't like is there's no flickering arrow at the bottom, and you can't use the touchscreen to advance. Now, like, who would advance or button mash with the touchscreen when you can hold B? I use that in the SkyTemple debugger, so I don't really like that. But it does really look really cool. Who am I? Isn't it obvious? I'm the Mystery Dungeon guy. This is based on Live Alive, which there's a lot of Live Alive inspirations in here. There's this like really cool guy, Lawless or Matsu, during the Near Future branch, where I combined his line from the English fan translation and the official localization, where the fan translation says, "I'm just passing through. I'm the Taiyaki guy," and then the official localization is like, "Isn't it obvious I'm a local businessman?" So it's meant to be like a one-liner, but the funny thing is that the music that plays right now is just the remix of the theme that would play for that branch in Live Alive. So yeah, makes for a really cool boss theme. It's called Playing with Psychos. I chose a multi-mix because Square Enix is like super stingy with copyright, so. There's a little trap here. If you work up like twice and don't KO, they get into like Overgrow Torrent Blaze. They have 100 HP, so it's got to be extra careful with them. But you do have a reviver scene. See, that's not going to go into this. Oh, I got a crit. Okay. I think one of the debug prints here is like darn furries. It's not mischievous, although funny enough, something that I actually noticed a couple months ago is that the sprite, Fluttermane's eyes are the wrong color. The ones in the portrait are correct, but the ones in the sprite are not. Mistrevous's eyes are yellow with red pupils, and Fluttermane's are like the reverse of that, they're red with yellow pupils. Or not pupils, irises. But there was a mistake made on Fluttermane's sprite where it's just reversed. But I think it's been fixed now, and it's definitely been fixed in like an update I have. Now this Fluttermane sprite I actually commissioned back in December of 2022, like shortly after I had the idea. So I'm like, this is going to be a jab in the future. I'm just going to do this now, and that's kind of what I did. It was used in the plot. It was used in Mystery Mail, but no one saw it in a scene. It just like wasn't visible. And then there is Sirion, I think that's what its name is, in the plot, where it's kind of like a minor character, but the plot is just weird. But anyway, yeah. I feel like not enough people noticed the Amogus in there. I was made with the custom unknown font. I replaced one of the letters. I replaced the A, obviously. But obligatory joke is supposed to be imposter. And this obligatory joke I also used in Mystery Mail 3 when Mitchell from Team Firespark was mentioning Mitchell to Elamise. So yeah, that's kind of wanted to repurpose that. But I still feel like not enough people notice the Amogus. Now, the crux of the game is that Riolu can basically warp reality. But except Riolu can't affect Fluttermane at all. So his like surprise there is more on the like, wait, why isn't this working? And then he spins it into like, what even are you? And this is kind of what I would imagine like people who know Pokemon, like in the Pokemon world, like know like different species like reacts to paradoxes. Why can Fluttermane know perfect English? One, because it'd be a hassle to try and implement it where it was not, and Fluttermane has been, or Sapphire has been like in the present for a couple months, so they picked up a little bit. And before you say like, wow, that's fast, Pokemon can learn language real fast, is what I've learned. And Sirius's plan here is to get them to join them, because like, if I can't do anything about this, what's going on? I want to be your friend. So kind of another way to achieve his goal, like plan B. By the way, Baroness did an amazing job with the sprite and portraits. Now, interestingly enough, like, in English, the paradox Pokemon names are just 2 words. This is not exactly the case for other languages, so if this ever got, like, translated at all, it would probably sound... This would probably have to be rephrased, but in English, it kind of works. He doesn't need to know. It's kind of like him saying like he already knows, but it is kind of a, you know, slip of the tongue there. But a lot of this, what he's going through right now is he's really nervous because like, oh, my newfound powers aren't working. What's going on? Kind of scrambling to figure things out. But also another thing here is that he also has a possibility like of this being a Pokemon from the lab he tried to get into. I still think it's weird that I used growing anxiety into... I saw something again, like back to back. I saw that transition was weird. So I didn't know what else to use. Horrible memory, like the topic was, I think it was important memory. So kind of a shoehorn thing in there, just like, oh yeah, I'm remembering, but I think it does kind of work here. Now he is trying to act like all polite because that's how he wants to act to other Pokemon that he's essentially manipulating. Like, I'm acting all cute and happy. Funny how it's just like 500 Poke. Even though essentially we're getting that, but because Sapphire joins the team, they didn't technically lose the money. So it looks like Sirius wanted to like be friends with Sapphire, just get more information. Maybe try to get them over as well. But looks like Sapphire made Sirius' job way easier. I'm not showing the top screen, but it just had like the full moon graphic. Intentionally keeping details vague, so now that they say yes, they can't back out. So I think it was kind of an interesting trait that it gave Sapphire, is that despite them being a ghost who's supposed to be spooky, they get spooked really easily and are nervous. Especially with past paradoxes, they always like look very like primal and not furious, but just I guess angry. Or maybe savage. I think that's the word I'm looking for here. And then this is kind of the opposite. And that's kind of the reverse on the stereotype you probably expect from Pokemon like Fluttermane or Mischievous. This was the whole thing of the nicknames here. Originally, the game was not supposed to have nicknames. But Fluttermane is 12 letters long, and before Gen 6, Pokemon's names had a maximum of 10 letters. So, and even in Sky, the maximum is 10 letters. So when you import Fluttermane, it will say Flutterm. So I had to do a nickname just so the names would fit. Otherwise, like I'm terrible at coming up with nicknames, but that's essentially why I had to put them in this hack. I kind of had this. I just thought of this. So like, imagine it. I don't know if this is true, but I imagine like a lot of taxi drivers or Uber drivers hear just like random conversations like, oh, interesting. I know a little bit more about their lives, and they'll probably forget it because they'll hear the same story again. I don't wonder if that's actually true. Some people. I think someone said that Lapras doesn't have lips, but I'm pretty sure it does. Sapphire, this name was inspired basically on two reasons. First of all, in Gemstone Labyrinth, gemstone, Sapphire is a gemstone. But you may not know this, but sapphires aren't always just blue. I actually used to work at a jewelry store, so I actually got to see like different color sapphires, like pinks and purple ones. And I actually also take a look at what gemstones like symbolize or what they mean in certain cultures. I think like purple sapphires, maybe it's blue sapphires, I don't know. I think, no, it's purple sapphires. But it's either like power, royalty, intelligence, something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head, but that's another reason why I chose the name Sapphire for Fluttermane. And also because, it's a gemstone. They went from Mischievous to Mischievous to Fluttermane in yellow to Sapphire in the span of 2 scenes. it's can get nowadays. I mean, yeah, people in Treasure Town live in like tents, so it's like can't be that much better. They're cool. Ha, get it? Because they're ice types. So, Siri. That's kind of funny. But, originally, it was going to be Glaceon and Eevee. But I just used Eevee in Cryptic Conundrum. I don't want to use it again. So I think Vulpix and Ninetales work better here. Snowy is the name of lilies, of Alolan Vulpix in the anime. But it also works really well here as a nickname of Snowflake. So big. A lot of Paradox Pokemon are big. Like the whole point, like the past Paradox Pokemon are bigger than the original, and the future ones are smaller. So when Fluttermane is that size, it really is that big. I don't know their height up the top of my head, but it is quite. I think it's like 4 feet or 4.5. It's doing the ranger thing, going in circles to show friendship. I think I really messed up the coordinates here for the circles. It's like, I think I showed a graph to 8x at some point, but it's really bad. There's other times in the game where like the spinning, I didn't do like the math properly, so it's not like a perfect circle or not or octagon. What did you sign up for? I don't know. I feel like that would have changed that line. Do you really sign for stuff, or would they know what signing for stuff means? Yeah. Ninetales. I don't know why, but Toonsoft made Ninetales sprite like really small. Like Ninetales like. Height is like just as big as Vulpix, and it's really telling when you put it next to Sapphire, because Sapphire's sprite or size is like more accurate. I don't know why they made Ninetales like tiny in Mystery Dungeon, but I think there's an alternate sprite for the regular Ninetales. I thought there was one for Alolan Ninetales, but I couldn't find it, so I had to just set it with this. This wants cuddles now. This is kind of so a lot of I kind of thought I'd mentioned this sooner, but sometimes the stuff that I could be into is a little weird or cringe in some way, and so this was just kind of another. If the best I would describe it is like a furry activity, and that's what I guess Sirius wants to do. But I didn't want to make it too, like, I guess, for lack of a better word, unacceptable based on rules, because there's, like fetish stuff gets, like, slapped down immediately, on, like, SkyTemple Discord. Like, I remember, like, someone posted, like, a TF art, and then people were like, it's so gross, spawn of Satan. I'm exaggerating, but, you know. I kind of wanted to put it loosely in this hack. Yes, I am a furry, but, it's just, I don't know, I have these ideas. I just want to use them in a way that people would actually not, cringe at. Or at least not as much. it's kind of ironic because after I wrote that line, I realized that Fluttermane also hasn't been in this world for very long, at least not in the present. But the point being is, Vulpix is like a toddler or baby. But just wants to do cute things, although despite technically being under Sirius's will. Aurora and Snowflake, I just chose basic nicknames for those. Although Snowflake is really cute though, I'm happy with that. I can't believe Sirius is girl trapped. So, there's a thing, I think I said this in the interview. Ninetales, or Aurora in this case, is like the one Pokemon Sirius can trust. So, he doesn't do anything to her. No, like, manipulating and stuff. Now, I did mention that he does do it with Snowy. I think to him it is kind of like a ransom thing. But, it's, like, not, like, enough to be concerning. Although, that relationship is a little toxic now that I'm thinking more about it. But essentially, she assumed that, you know, Fluttermane is under his control. And, like, okay, like, it was his idea. I'm also need energy because I got really tired at work today. I almost fell asleep. Fluttermane has no like proper advanced sleep animation, so I just repurposed like the sleep ones. So if I had to like do it again or make this hack again, I would probably give or ask for Fluttermane like event sleep sprites, like proper ones. And probably have it where they're on the ground instead of hovering. Fireplace is still on, but that was, again, background budget. You can probably hear my fan in the background. It's like really hot out today. It's like 100 degrees. What time is it? Nocturnal Pokemon moment. I assume that at least in here, like, time isn't measured in, like, numerical values. But they still have, like, a general estimate of how long an hour is. So, that's kind of what I did. I mean, for me, an hour past sunrise is, like, somewhere between 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning, so that's when I usually wake up. Like, I usually wake up around 7 on a work day, and on a weekend I usually stay until like 8. I still want to sleep, man. Think about it like this. This is Sirius's signature line. He tries to be like direct and to the point at first, but then realizes, you know, I probably shouldn't do that to actually make the facade believable. So then he switches it up and makes it more happy. I also kind of wanted to use treasure count in a hack since I haven't done it yet, and you know I kind of wanted to see like how much spaghetti code from Toonsoft I have to dig my way through to make this stuff work. Now, Gengar's exclusive item in Vanilla is actually called the sunglasses. Sunny Spot Hill is actually a dungeon in Super on the Grass Continent, and I just like chose like, for me I was like picking dungeon names for like ideas, like what's a good one? Oh, I'll just pick a Super dungeon and see where it is, kind of go from there, and I've just chosen that. The only thing I don't really like about this entire scene is that there's a long time between when the player has like control between like dungeon and free roam. Oh yeah. This entire scene is here because linking moves is too broken, and I wanted to make it where the game can't be like torn apart. I DM'd Dadex at one point. Like, if you laughed, what would it be written as? And then he said that, so I just went with that. And Certified Link Master, also Favorite Dadex, is like certified whatever in purple text with the stars. So. There were actually originally supposed to be 3 link boxes, but I added a 4th just because it looked bad. I kind of like how I wrote this scene, but I think I would have. I kind of wanted it to flow a little bit better from like, what can I do to like, here's what you can do, like from sad to happy. I think the flow issues are also kind of done on purpose because, you know, Sirius wants to change the subject. But I still don't like it. But also I made this cutscene to incentivize remembering moves, which still not everyone did, which makes me mad. And the funny thing is that I didn't even remove linking moves in the game. There's a shortcut that I forgot to take out. And apparently I took it out in CC without even knowing it. But I forgot to take it out here. Nice Rickroll. So yeah, now let's actually go into here. Ultra rank, it's just to make it more believable that they're an explorer. Gameplay and smooth accuracy, just kind of specify like what the actual ranges are. And this is kind of more like going into depth on the game mechanics. It is 6 times, okay. Once was up, it's a mistake. I forgot like some of the stuff I wrote in here. Let me see. If you accepted this rule, aka just 1. I thought I'd have more, but there is only 1. Some of these strategies like no one used, like breaking through walls and utilize enemies' abilities. So the mistake that I made in this game is there are a lot of custom abilities. In fact, Sapphire has one of them right now. Now, every enemy in the game that would have an added ability, like for a non-hidden ability, they have it, and it works properly. So, like, for example, there's Salazzle in the later dungeons. They're going to have corrosion, and it works properly. But the mistake that I made is that no one notices this stuff. And so, like, you don't even know that the ASM is there. And so if I ever wanted to do this again, or recommending this, make sure people actually know about it. But otherwise, yeah. Fluttermane, I think I just copied Mistrevous's level up curve, but I made the stats a little bit better. The speedrun for this game uses the link move shortcut, which, yeah, I'm gonna have to remove. Quick attack. The summary just crashes the game. I know what causes it, but I don't know how it even happened. Otherwise, I'm fine with your moves. This one, I want to remember Sunny Day instead of Wish. Wish is really bad in PMD, but it also kind of like Fluttermane naturally learns Wish that early of a level, but it also is kind of symbolic of they wish for more, I guess. Merak Dozo's off limits. My headcanon is that like the Dozo's like in a perpetual state of being ruined, and then they having to build it up again, and then it being ruined. This I didn't change. I really like this. Like, because when a 0... Oh, I forgot I made it close it force. I actually did not know that. But it's just like a 0 bounces or jumps off his tail when he's speaking. But during the idle animation, you know, they're actually right on the tail. Team Tasty. Now because the relics replace the boxes, no need to have Zatu here. Who's gonna open our boxes now? I'll take the purple gummy. I'll take the max elixir as well. Ooh, full fear orb. That's another thing with the with the move coloring. I colored TMs as well, and sometimes like they don't turn dark red when they should, because the way that coloring it works, it prioritizes the most recent color, and the most recent color in that case is the custom color that I put on there. forgot. Oh, it's 32 items. Okay, that's 4 pages. I'm okay with my items right now. I have no idea how this happened, by the way. I removed the loading zone trigger there, but I don't know how I messed this up. Anyway. Okay, so like I said, the relics are just treasure boxes, and this system is based on it's kind of like a evolution of the crafting system from Cryptic Conundrum. I feel like it was underutilized, and I wanted to make it simpler in this game. And I think, now that I talk about it, is Halloween Havoc. I don't know if it's changed because I played version 1.0, but there is like a item trade or crafting system. I didn't use it once because I just couldn't find the items I needed. So I wanted to make it simple, and you're gonna get the items anyway, not as like. I think I just wanted to make it a little more like interesting way of collecting the items rather than just taking the stuff you find on the floor. They just found from enemies. These boost certain stats. Now the way that I actually made these work, these are all vanilla exclusive item effects, which I'll show you in the greater detail here. Like this one, all boosts the stats by like 5 or 3, and this one, you get boosts your XP, boost HP regen, sop chance, and then the convert charm, which occasionally turns your damage into power points. There were other exclusive item effects that I could have used, but I thought they were too broken, so I didn't. Like type immunity stuff, and additionally, the price for these things actually doubles every time you buy one. So the first one will be 4, you buy it will be 8, and if you buy a second one, it'll go to 16. This was to incentivize people not to buy the same one, because truthfully, I don't know if they stack, like you buy multiples of the same one. But I just wanted to make sure, people don't do that and then waste their relics. So that's why it just doubles in price. But that does not account for nice. But does not account for losing your items if you die or something. So something that I didn't see a lot of people do. Sapphire learns non-sleeper as one of the first new IQ skills. And then, for me, when you reach the final boss and they're using sleeping moves, you'd be like, just have you not given Sapphire one gummy? This is one of my favorites. I really wish Noctowl had portraits. I don't know if it does now, but it didn't at the time, but I would have loved to use them here. This was kind of a rant, because there's a lot of hacks, Spanking Muscles Day Off is the first one that comes to mind. They totems just aren't here, and they're just like a black or just a shadow or a hole of where it's supposed to be, and it's just not there, which just looks wrong. And so you guys remember these things? They're pretty cool. This was made, again, using the Unknown font. This took a day to make, probably even 2 days. If I had more time, I could have fixed the gaps in the middle there, because I didn't know that those would be there. But I didn't feel like it because of time management. The Spin the Cafe is closed because I didn't want people to abuse the Spin the Cafe and just get broken stats. It's just too early. That's kind of like the explanation I made. Everyone's saying their catchphrase, so you're gonna get a lot of yup yup. As much as Sirius wants to go down there, he has at least some dignity. Yeah, the exploration team for the race, I feel like we don't know enough about them in vanilla. So, I just kind of like poking fun, like, who are these guys? And anyway, now is enough of the overworld. Let's actually get to the dungeon. Before it, I actually need to go refill on water. Just gonna pause the recording and I'll come back once I have the water. Alright, I'm back. So apparently there's like a thunderstorm in our area. I just need to check. So hopefully the power doesn't go out. When is it supposed to end? Okay, it doesn't say. Hopefully it shouldn't last long, but you guys might hear some thunder in the background. That'll be interesting. You can't see it, but on the top screen I kind of put Sunny Spot Hill in a similar place to where it is in Super. The music here is from Pac-Man Party. It's basically a Pac-Man spin on Mario Party for the Wii. Some of the music here though is pretty good. But something else I wanted to do with the music in this game is I wanted to make it all short. So like this is just to make it to not inflate the file size as much. So the loop here is actually only like 30 seconds. Same with the boss fight and stuff. Just, save on file space. And I didn't have to expand the ROM's header, which is nice. I think it is safe to do so, but I've just always been like kind of paranoid that stuff is going to break if I expand the ROM size header. And more or less on real hardware, because I know 8X plays on hardware. Secret Slab. Actually, no, it's not called Secret Slab here. Oh yeah, so Sunny Day, protosynthesis does work, but 8X made it where it changes the stat here, and makes it in red. It gets boosted by 12 if it's an offensive stat, or 8 if it's a defensive stat, and its highest stat would be special attack, so that's why it got boosted. It's probably at like 46 before, and now it's at 58. So it's basically like a special band, but only in sunny weather. And I originally was just going to have more weather in these dungeons, but I thought people would override it with Sunny Day like immediately, so I didn't. And then no one used it. Like, I put all these features in my game, and then you don't use it. Heck is wrong with you guys? Yeah, Challenger Rune. This is a repurposed Secret Slab, but it doesn't spawn legendaries. It just spawns regular Pokemon that give like more XP. Roleplay. This TM is guaranteed to show up on this floor, and this is another way. Like, I made cool abilities. I want you guys to try and use them, and no one did. Oh, there's the thunder. I don't know if you can hear it. Surskit. Someone told me that this is like Sunk's favorite Pokemon. I don't know if it is, but he was on the jury during this hack, so I guess it's kind of pandering. It's like really windy outside too. And that's, I don't know why I did that. Sky's cursor memory, man, it can get so inconvenient. The rule I had is that pretty much every projectile is not perfect accuracy, because otherwise it'd be too broken. The exception of Aura Sphere, because in vanilla, or just in the official games, it never misses, so that effect was kept. And, you know, it just happened that Riolu learns it. That Nimble, not the same Nimble from Nimble Story, which was also made in the same jam. Where are the stairs? So I guess over here. So yeah, the point was just like, oh, this Skiddo has Sap Sipper. Copy the Sap Sipper so you get hit by like the Vine Whip and you get an attack boost. But it was like way too niche. Like I wanted like as many options to be available as I got 2 of these. I don't need 2, but I'll keep one of them in case I remember. Sticky Trap. Like every niche option is available depending on how you want to play, but I think having every option available means that the super niche options won't get used at all. Servine is one of the secret slab mons. And fun fact, it actually is said to appear in both 2F and 3F. Even though I'll have the secret slab in here, Servine won't appear on this floor because it already appeared on 2F. And I think that's really interesting. So if you just picked up the secret slab, excuse me, or challenger rune on 2F, then Servine would show up here. So, but that's something interesting, and something else I've also found out recently, nope, is that, I think if there's multiple secret slab mons on the same floor, it only picks one of them. The nope there, is kind of more meant to the funny part of this hack, because Sirius tries to be funny. Oh yeah, here's a fixed drum, basic fixed drum, but you know, it works. Flabebe. Both Flabebe and Joltik are in here, which is like both members of Team Tidy. That was not intentional. I didn't realize that until someone told me. Ooh, jeez. Hold on. Emolga is another secret slab mon. I keep saying secret slab, even though it's Challenger Rune, but they're essentially the same thing. Here's our first relic. I forgot to mention this. There are 12 colors of relics. If you trade every single color of relic to Roserade at some point, you get another item, but it's like really rare. I don't think it's happened to anyone. And also, since it's all RNG, I think it makes it where some of your attacks can flinch. I think that's what the thing does. Now, the way that I made the exclusive items work is that they're actually I had to ask Keck for this because he made it work in Mergers vs. Pirates. Is that do I want aerial ace? I don't know if I do. Is that technically there was like this one dummy Pokemon I had to have both Fluttermane and Riolu evolve from to make it work. Soak. But evolution is disabled, so it didn't make much of a difference here. But yeah, unfortunately, it's not as easy as just the first flicker of the lights. It's not as easy as just like making a signage to the Pokemon. I wish it were that easier though. Oh, that's not an attack. The other fixed drum in this dungeon. Again, I wanted to make something simple because I didn't have any ideas for fixtures. I used them all in Cryptic Conundrum. This tile set right here is actually Purity Forest. This is also used in Explorers the Unknown for its port of Purity Forest. It's actually in Rescue Team, but not in Sky. So, but I kind of wanted to use it here. I feel like I was going to say something else I don't remember. What was I going to say? Something about exclusive items. Relics, Secret Slab Mons. I don't know. Maybe I'll get to it. I don't know if I will though. And those are actually what the sunglasses look like in Sky if you like put them on the ground. Okay, this scene. This entire scene is based off of an America's Got Talent act by Tapeface. I just thought it was so funny. I wanted to put it in Mystery Mail, but you know you can't, or maybe you can now. But in Mystery Mail you couldn't use S&D stream. I think, and I just like I want to put this in something, so I made it here because it's funny. And Riolu's all about funny. That's what it was. It was the Nope. So, like, Riolu is kind of meant to not take things seriously, and so that's why the Nope is in there for the mistext. Now, funny enough, another game in the jam also changed it. It was Rainbow Wing. They changed the mistext to Oops. Now, you probably didn't know that because the developers of Rainbow Wing said don't stream it or don't upload it, so... Now, not everyone remembered that. Maybe some did, but no one spoke about it. Actually, a lot of the letters there were actually used directly from the mistext in other languages, which are in the US ROM. But I think one of the letters I had to make on my own. I don't remember which one it was. But yeah, this the whole point being like the not taking things seriously nature is also used here. And that, in case you don't know, it was the Giga Chad theme. I think there's a actual name for the song it's based on. I don't remember what it was called. I just remember it's the Giga Chad song. Which before then, I actually, the whole point of this scene was to make it Chad Riolu versus Virgin Fluttermane, which is why the song Like a Virgin plays, which is a cover, by the way, so don't worry about copyright. And so actually, like, does Giga Chad have, like, its own theme? And it turns out it did. But the remix, which I don't know who it's by, also will get you a copyright claim on YouTube. So I found that remix on Newgrounds. It's like, where can I find, like, a remix? And I found it on Newgrounds. And that's what I used in the game. And the guy has it on his YouTube channel as well. So in like the OST playlist, which I posted on the Discord at one point, that's in there. In the Tapeface act, the song was, I don't know what the song is called, but it has the lyrics, I went to the danger zone. And it had like the intro with like the guitar riff. When Tapeface put on the glasses, and when Nick Cannon put on the glasses, it played Like a Virgin and Girls Just Want to Have Fun. So that's kind of like the joke I kind of repeated here, and I thought it was really funny. So I kind of reused it, and don't worry, it's not like some people say I plagiarized it. I did put Tapeface's real name in the credits as an inspiration. But that was the whole crux behind the glasses. It's a rave. The glasses texture, the middle is 2 pixels wide because that's how it fits on Riolu and Fluttermane. But if I fit it on Gengar, it actually uses a 1 pixel wide sprite for between the lenses, just so it would fit, because that's just how the sprite decided to sprite Riolu, Gengar, and how Baroness decided for Fluttermane. This is also a really big. That was a really big pain to sync everything too, but I made it work. It was a cover. It's by the Mandonas, I think. I just looked up, Googled Like a Virgin cover, and that one came up. I believe when I uploaded it, it's only 5 seconds, and I didn't get flagged for it. But yes, it is Riolu who produced the music. Whole line about the whole enchanted aspect. It's really bad up there now. Gengar. A VIP pass to spin the cafe. You know, I think in the debug print, I just let's see what I can mug off of him. It's a fellow ghost type, Fluttermane, be happy. I ran out of I had to pick a different interjection every time, excellent, great, good, nice. So it didn't repeat itself. Oh, fantastic, there's another one. This team name I couldn't pick up. I couldn't come up with one, so I just chose Flow. It was technically visible from the very start. Flow is meant because, first of all, for Riolu, it's meant his aura and how he can control it. And it also is for Fluttermane, their hair, because it's flowing in the wind. I always wanted to see a hack, where Pokemon go out to dinner. I just think that's not. I don't see it enough in video games, so I wanted to make my own take on it. And this is the one opportunity to walk and spin the cafe. Can you just do it anywhere? True, but yeah. I actually had to look up why do people go out to dinner? And this was kind of the reason I found from Google. I think this is obvious, but the point of Sapphire is that they're not... They understand some stuff, but they're not, completely, civilized. As much as, the other Talon Pokemon. And while, Ninetales or Aurora agreed support, and Sears is, do stuff jeez. I can really hear that. Do stuff like this, right now. You're doing this. Because he's kind of insensitive. And Sapphire just goes along with it because they know they need to change. Unfortunately, it's being used against them. Also, the kids get their food first because of the kids' menu. I don't know if you can hear that thunder. It's really storming out there. This entire interaction was real. Some people, I think Smingle said the whole thing was did they just, just wanted to go to Ninetales, like, adopt me, please. Because I have these powers, now you will adopt me. This is actually real. Although the whole stroke of pure luck isn't exactly real, like, I don't think I ever fully decided on why they got together. If it was either luck or from the powers. Because, I don't know, I just think I decided, but I didn't need to say what I decided in the game. Time for the exposition dump. Peer pressure. It's a powerful force. People say the random stuff all the times at restaurants, so it's just like, I don't know, like, how often, like, conversations like these come up, but it's just, I guess, stereotypical to do stuff like this. But it's also kind of the why I wanted to have a go out to dinner scene, because I just feel like all the important conversations of life happen when you're eating with other people, like dinner. Also, that's flawed logic, but Sirius is putting all of his reasons behind flawed logic. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them. Oh, you can... Yeah, it's picking up. You can really hear the thunder. It's really bad. Oh my goodness. So this was made before the first DLC for Scarlet and Violet came out. So there is like a popular theory. It's just like, what if these are created from imagination? And I brushed that up later on in the game. But I kind of wanted to do the from the past route because I think it would be more interesting. Although nowadays I actually do believe, well, it's not exactly time travel, but more of an alternate universe. That's what I believe is the from Scarlet and Violet. And this game was made 6 months after Scarlet and Violet, so that's why I mentioned 6 months ago. The reason why all of them are silhouettes is because, you know, at the time, there weren't, like, not every single Paradox sprite was made. It was just Flutter made an Iron Bundle. So I wanted to, you know, use more. So I just used the actual Pokemon they're based on. And, but, you know, I didn't want to give away that they're not actually the Paradox Pokemon. So I made them all silhouettes. It's also kind of an artistic choice as well. Raichu, why I chose Raichu is because for me in PMD games, I always choose Pikachu for the starter, like in my first playthrough. And it's kind of not a self-insert, but also it's insert of my interest in Scarlet and Violet's story and the Paradox mons. And Fluttermane is my favorite Paradox, so that's why Raichu is tasked with kidnapping Fluttermane. These were references to like some of the jury's hacks. Porygon Z is a reference to Aidware, which is from Parker's hack, or not hack, it's from Deceit. Rhyperior is a reference to ARC, because Kate was on the jury. What was Magmortar was a reference to Blorg. Houndoom, what was Houndoom a reference to? I don't remember. And then Metagross was just there for like a solid like strong Pokemon, like pseudo-legendary strong. And you know, it's kind of based on a supercomputer, so it makes sense for a scientist. if I remember why I put Houndoom and Metagross in there, because I want to think they are references too. I just can't remember. Kind of wish I did that actually differently, but this entire scene took me like a day, because most scenes I can do in like 1 or 2 hours. This one took me all day. Yeah, they made the walls shocking because, for me, I just wanted to make it where people don't yell, "Why don't you just escape through the wall?" I guess what? I thought of that. So yeah, that's actually a Dawn fan, not a Great Dusk. Ooga booga. This is the Decrepit Lab from Rescue Team. It's a really detailed friend area. It's used for, like, I think it's used for Porygon. Is it used for... I don't actually remember who's used. I think it's used for Alakazam. I don't know friend areas that well. And the whole code name here was just like, because I still think that the names being words, like, I always thought that was silly. Like, I still think it's silly. Like, I thought it was silly since when I first learned that their names were that, when I first played Scarlet and Violet. I still think it's silly today. So yeah, there's Tyranitar, Hydreigon, and Volcarona in there, which are supposed to be Iron Gigulus, Iron Thorns, and Iron Moth. Imagine getting knocked from both directions on your head. Just go absolutely... just go absolutely wild and bonkers, because, yeah. Elaborate instructions is kind of meant to say, we were coded this way. And there's another artistic choice to not have the silhouette here. So it's like kind of differentiate Sapphire from the rest of them. I really like how I did the frozen effect. The one place that wasn't shockproof. Or not shockproof, I guess ghostproof. Loose title drop. I really like this scene. Like, this is probably one of my favorite scenes that I've made. I think it really emphasizes the point and emotion well. Well, but it also contains Sirius is just like, don't worry about it. But it also encompasses Aurora's just like, hospitality, but also this line, the lines that she says right here, is kind of foreshadowing to what happens later. Big friend. I had one of these lights nights. Whoa! I had one of these nights last night. I was like, I'm so tired. It's 10 o'clock. I usually go to bed at 11. I just want to go to bed. So one of the points of this scene is that Sirius is so tired that Aurora can do her best to warn Sapphire about Sirius's true intentions without him knowing. What did I do? Oh. And they ate after that conversation. Because food can cheer you up if you're down. You're not you when you're hungry. So this line, a lot of this story, specifically Sapphire's story, there was a famous contestant on the X Factor, the British X Factor, Zoe Alexander, who was a lot of this Fluttermane story is based on her story. She was manipulated into it basically. She's basically treated as a not human by the X Factor staff, and where she had a meltdown on stage, and and she was painted as this crazy person, even though truthfully she was just emotional from being essentially a tool for most of or her time auditioning for the X Factor, and she was so sad and angry by that. But she was given a warning by a producer saying you here, you can leave, because it was a warning. She knows that Zoe was there for bad reasons, but Zoe said, this is what I want to do, so I'll stay. And this is kind of similar to that in some way. Again, I don't want to plagiarize, but go check out Zoe Alexander's. She made 2 videos on it. They're really inspiring, actually, but also is really spooky. And I put her name in the credits too. Sunk said, said that this game felt very inspired because he could see some of the styles of other people in the community, like his and Argonians and Kate's and Adix's. Oh, I said no. Whoops. And that's, for me, I just want to take the best of what they had and make it work as my own thing. And I don't want to sound unoriginal or a copycat. I just think you know what, this can work. Let's try this. This is what I like. And I don't want to turn this into a good artist borrow but great artist steal moment, because I really don't want to That's not my intentions, but I like homages. So like might as well, you know, so like, hey, I really appreciate what you do, and it is kind of pandering to the judges, but you know, what else can I say? There was a lot of judge pandering to 8x and the 4th gem with so many Finion. Again, cute things because wanted to be cute. Kind of ironic because they're ice types. A Nikki name. Or I can imagine, like, this is just people's reaction to bringing up sensitive parts of their life. It's kind of also shows that he just isn't as empathetic as he says he is. Or sympathetic. I guess, I don't know which one would work better there. Scapolite is a yellow gemstone. Sapphire, you poor innocent child. I wish that I could just tell you, like, I appreciate you for being brave, but this is not the time. I feel so sad for them. So here's a strat I learned while watching playthroughs of the game. If you don't have enough relics, put them in storage. Why do you have 640 items stored? I guess that's what you get from Ultra Rank. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. What don't I need? Oh, I can't sell those? Okay, I don't need this. I don't need that. Yeah. Nice. I don't think I have enough stuff for another one. Okay, nothing great in there. And it's also kind of a showcase people like, hey, I've added all these abilities to the game. This is not exactly true, but the burn damage happens more often. It's still the same 6 damage. I always wanted an NPC to be sleeping. I thought that would just be funny. And, you know, Leafeon, it's popular because, you know, evolution. Man, that thunder really picked up to my mic. Just as always prevails. Sirius did not listen to the information later. I think I put Teddy Ursa in Ursa, and that's why I said that. I feel like not enough enemies in the dungeon actually use those moves. I don't think there's anyone down here, actually. I didn't have enough time to, like, fully, like, put a lot of NPCs in here, so... But, again, wasn't priority. Squarefish in here? Or no, he shows up in the next day, I think. Why do I keep saying no? Now Skyblight is where Mount Bristle is on the map. This music is from Puzzle and Dragon Z. It's a real the game is pretty good, but the OST is just phenomenal. It's also the longest track in the game. I was originally going to have a shorter music track in here, but now I realize it was like towards the end of development. Like I have space, I can put this long one in here, and I like it better anyway than the one I had before. Although 8X disagrees with me, but it's my game. Oh yeah, it's, for some reason I thought rock polish would affect the other enemies as well, but it's not agility. Quick guard, I made it have 1 PP. It's kind of like a last minute, like all protect orb. Excuse me. It's because I wanted to make it where it only has a 50% chance of working for all allies, but the way that Sky does it is that when it affects the user, it will always hit no matter what, even if it's 0 accuracy, so that did not work. Ooh. Another example of the fixed rooms. Now this fixed room is actually so big that it kind of makes the entire floor just 2 big rooms. Kind of like a two-room monster house, but a little bit different. And this was also kind of to emphasize like the holes, although I kind of made like the reverse. But it's just, I feel like it wasn't showcased enough that those were the holes. Well, actually no, I say it at the end of the dungeon. Oh yeah, some of the enemies in the last dungeon had like chlorophyll and stuff, so to say that like kind of have some counterplay to Sunny Day. So here's something that I found out. So you notice with Fluttermane's anal animation, it kind of like goes up a little bit and then pauses and then goes down. And however, this is only true if it's facing down or down right. In all the other directions, it actually just kind of like goes up and down in a line. And funny enough, this is actually also the case on Mischievous' sprite. And you know, I asked Baroness about it and like, do we want to keep that in? And I think she said, you know, because you know it's a Paradox mod, might as well. I don't think I have the money for this. That, you know, might as well, it's not worth the change. Ooh, Ore Sphere. Now, in update to the game, I am going to make the TMs less expensive since they are just way too expensive. Yeah, apparently the Challenger runes sells for 0. Noivern, that's another secret slab mon. There's, I think, 3 in here. It's Noivern, Lairon, and... No, not Lairon. Maybe it is Lairon, and Metane. But actually, this is the last dungeon with secret slab mons. I just put him in here just to get you paranoid. Like, ooh, there's a secret slab monster. In reality, there isn't. Get pranked, idiots. Oh yeah, there is Ursaring in here. I think Teddy Ursa's in Sunny Spot Hill. Getting an Ore Sphere, there's a guaranteed Ore Sphere TM on floor 9, but I actually just happened to get it earlier, which is interesting. In this case, I don't need Rock Smash anymore. A never miss projectile is crazy in PMD. Here's another big hole. I kind of wanted... This one looks more like an actual hole storm punch, but I had to keep the borders and the outline here just so you'd be able to get in. I don't know if I gave this thing pin missile. What don't I need? I won't need this. Nice. Getting kind of lucky with the stairs in here. Oh, that's not Metal Claw. The numbers for Sapphire's colors there are actually based on, or for the partner colors for like the UI are actually based on Fluttermane's colors, and additionally the damage for the health bar is also based on Fluttermane's colors. I'll get rid of Side Beam. No, actually I don't want to do that. I'll get rid of Confuse. No, I want to keep Confuse Ray. I think I'm going to get rid of Sunny Day just because I just have better options. And I want to save Confuse Ray for the boss fight. That's not Metal Claw. I need to remember that I put it to Y. Actually, I might want to sell that. Yeah, that's the problem with being in the sun. Do I have another one? I don't. There's Bulldoze. Zintigamis for fairies. Here's the other fixturum. There's the Aura Sphere TM in here, and the last required use of Rock Smash if you want to actually get an item. But there are other items in the walls. This is from Rescue Team. This is Northern Range. I think Kate, in her review, called this the beatable Aggron. And then Sirius is making him growl and roar all the time. And stomp. Here's another Live Alive reference. It's like, what do you think you could do against this Gatling gun? The move it says here is actually based on your Riolu's strongest fighting type move that he knows. So if you didn't pick the Overseer TM, it'll probably say like Vacuum Wave, but it'll also say stuff like Brain Punch or Focus Punch if you found the TMs for those. Aggron does have stats, and like I think he has 400 HP. And if you try and beat the if you try and use Sapphire, it will actually, the damage is normal. 8x helped me code this, so I can literally do any attack, including a regular attack, and it just will one-shot Aggron. There's also a bug in here where the XP doesn't actually carry over, but that will be fixed. And this cutscene will still play even if you beat him with Sapphire, or you didn't use Riolu. Because who would do that on their first playthrough? Unknowingly, or knowing, you know, they get one shot. And the lights are getting dim. Oh geez, my computer's lagging. Well, the power is making my computer lag. Because it's like fading in and out. Like literally. Oh, the power's out. Okay. What if I unplug my... No, okay, the power's just out. Go figure. Oh, no, it's back on. My internet died though, but thankfully I don't need internet to record. Shut up, NordVPN. What was I saying? Yeah. Also, yeah, 8x helped me code this fight. The original idea pitched to him was to make all of Sirius's moves like super high powerful for this one battle, but he said, "Yo, I'll do this. This is easier." I think I was going to say something else and I forgot. So Explorers the Unknown reference. 8x and Paz just love that line. Fluttermane or Sapphire showing their hospititious side of them. I think that's the word. Ron sound effect. The storm has gone through. Excuse me 1 second. Yeah, so maybe it wasn't a good idea to record in a massive thunderstorm, but I had no idea this was coming. Hopefully the stuff in the fridge didn't like melt. So Sirius asked Aurora to go research this stuff while they were exploring. Kind of for closure, but also for his own benefits. Based on the theories that were floating around at the time. It's kind of funny because, you know, Fluttermane is such this unique Pokemon for this time period, like one of a kind, almost legendary, and yet they're like, what if more of the Pokemon that I came with? Like the last of their species. I mean, it actually kind of is. Donate their stuff to science. Probably not a good idea. Not something on their mind. This is more of like the oh furry stuff. But I just want to say, just because it's furry stuff doesn't mean it's sexual. That those two are completely unrelated. I mean, they can, like, they're not completely unrelated, but they're mostly unrelated. Although, this is the point where I wish that Fluttermane had the more, like, sleeping animation where they're actually on the ground and not levitating. This is honestly a question that I have about... I just wonder what people actually think about me as a person, like me for real, like not like the characters of the game, but me, because I just sometimes just have that question, like, do other people think of me like the way that I think that they do? Yeah, this is, and that's also like why, like, they won't tell you that unless you ask, but then it's kind of awkward to ask. More spin. You know, I really there's like a command in Explorer script where you could have an actor face another actor directly. I wish I'd known about that before making this game. I don't want to write filler anymore. Let's just go straight to the job bulletin board. pick the request, but even though I already picked the request for you, because all the other ones look too hard. I really like the name Dusky Marshland. Pals Forever is 11 letters, so it doesn't fit. This was made before Pal World, by the way. I can't see the word pal the same ever since that game came out. I think Sapphire like wants to do like the things that, you know, they wish they had. And also Sirius is getting a little bit nervous. It's just like, it's around this time where he's like, okay, I can't exactly win them over. Just by being a friend, I kind of have to get a little bit forceful. But of course, they're telling us something completely different. Because they don't want the viewers to know that he's the bad guy. Or the players. Swablu could not catch the Fidion. This is a really obscure reference. It's from Cryptic Conundrum. So I ran out of ideas for NPC dialogue, so I asked someone, I think I asked 8X, and then he said defenestration. That's not going to go well, mate. I do not remember there actually being locked doors in dungeons. Where did I put those? I think I put them in Gemstone Labyrinth at the floors that aren't required. Jeez, why did I do that? Oh, there's something over there. Now I can take my relics out of storage. Oh, wait, my bag is full. Oh, I didn't mean to speed up, I'm sorry. I've been trying to avoid speeding up because finger kind of slipped, but also instinctual. What do I want? I think I want up special attack. There's a little gap in, like, it took a little bit, but I think 8X made like a code optimization for that, and that's going to be used in the next update. And I was wrong about the storm, it's still going. Although the rain is kind of dissipated. I think Sapphire might be done with their like general IQ skills. So, a lot of the Pokemon in Dusky Marshland are actually a little bit more frustrating on purpose. So, I just wanted to be, you know, extra careful for it. It says Bazinga. You know, originally I wanted to... You know that there's the book page graphics that I use for, like, the missions? I originally wanted to have a sign graphic as well. But I couldn't get it to work as well because, you know, it's not always going to be on center. And then that sign was going to be someone like carved in the wood Bazinga, while it still had the text of like Spin This Cafe shop. Actually don't know what it's meant to say, and then win big, as the actual like text, not just an object text. Yeah, Corpus is here. Yeah, didn't have time to put overall NPCs, but Corpus is in there. Funny how all the dungeons actually get closer to Treasure Town as the game goes on. Music is from Pokemon Vega. I probably shouldn't have done another ROM hack, but oh well. It's a great track. Tile set was made by Alex. Amazing tile set. And I actually had to make a patch by Heka just to make the tile set work. Now, in this point of the game, Riolu actually gets changed for a different Riolu entry. And they gain XP a lot quicker. Now here, like, see, I only need 1600. For Sapphire, I need 6600. The point is, what I'm trying to make with Riolu, or Sirius, is that he needs to get stronger than Sapphire. Because currently, like a one-on-one fight, he's going to lose. And he needs to get stronger. And the way to do that is through leveling up. But he doesn't want to make it too obvious, like he kind of did with Aggron. And it's also why, at this point, there have been no held items, and that's another reason I wanted to do exclusive items, is because the way that I did it is that I have to basically unassign both of them from the team and put the new one back on. So, and if you had held items, they'd be unequipped. And I didn't want that to happen, so that's why I just had no held items. You can still technically give an item, but not as worth it compared to a designated held item. What trap? Oh, I think there was a mud trap. I keep forgetting Metal Claw is Y. So yeah, I put all the annoying mons in here. But the changing the team members also why the bug exists with XP from the Aggron fight not actually carrying over. This Overkill knows Barbaros. It's a custom move effect made by 8X, but it's actually bugged in this version. Where it doesn't poison, but the effect is like, it always gets the boost. Because the way that it's supposed to work is, whatchamacallit, it does damage. It's boosted if you're poisoned, or if it gets boosted when you have a bad status, or when they have a bad status, and it can also poison. But they made it where the boost is always applied, but it can't poison. Nope. So something I actually just thought about now. The reason why CTC is not enabled in this hack is because it's kind of symbolic of, you know, Sirius not being able to have full control over Sapphire. And it makes it, and it's even better because Sapphire can actually walk through walls, because Ghost type and based on Mischievous, who Vanilla can walk through walls. Additionally, now this Riolu, I wanted to have a slightly faster HP regen, but I messed it up and made it slower. Because for some reason, the higher the value is for HP regen, the slower it becomes. So like by default it's 100. I set it to 255, which makes it slower. The fastest HP regen is 15, I believe. Which in the next update, or in the update for the game, that is fixed. But it's kind of an odd mistake. I didn't even really notice. Did I get another reviver soon? Oh, I didn't. Citrus berry, though. I'm going to use that on you. Oh. Do I want to get... I am going to start over. Hopefully I don't lose my relic. I didn't. Good. I didn't lose the IQ booster either. Okay. I actually didn't lose that much. So I'm okay with that, death. More chance for Sirius for the gate level ups. You know, I once did like playtesting and go through the entirety of the Gemstone Labyrinth. I think Sirius ended up at like level 72. And then Sapphire's like level 50 something. Or like 48. Oh, that's also why pushing is off, because again, you can't control Sapphire. Now, New Island, which is from Pokemon Vega, which is what the music is where you find Mewtwo in Pokemon Vega. And I think there's also some motifs of some from the first movie. I think that actually kind of works well for the kind of the transition period that Sirius is going through. Oh, whoops. Okay, they ran out. I got a relic from that, nice. Am I gonna get any more skills for Sirius? I might get multi-talent, which will help with more quick guards. But I don't want to give that to the boss fight, though. Don't kill me. That's fine. Do I have Petraberry? No. Oh, that thing got cut out. Oh, jeez. Luminosaur. Uh-oh. Do I have a Slip Seed? Alright, I'm gonna have to do this. One more. Nice. Yeah, get out before more Bard Barrage. It's down there, okay. What am I learning here? I think it's helping hand? SD, no. Did I keep the Aerial HTM? I want to use that to replace... Oh, I didn't keep it, okay. Use it to replace, Quick Guard for the boss fight. We can get another relic or another charm here. Focus punch, okay. That's another worthwhile TM because it's going to really screw up their AI. So use another fixed room, except this time it's the overworld. I took just a mace generator and just plugged it in. Also Hyphenion. You can't talk to it, by the way. Oh, is this way? So the middle stairs will just lead you to the next floor. The left stair, or not the left stair, one of the two left or right stairs will take you to either 1F or 10F of this dungeon. So you have to do more or less, but it's random. So I'm just not going to bother with that and just go this way. Apparently I really love getting poisoned. Did my protect wear off? No, Sapphire's protect wore off. Now my protect wore off. Can you just die? Oh yeah, trap avoider. What's that's even lowered? Oh, it's defense. Oh, I actually kind of want this now. At least it's not as bad as getting toxic. I'm gonna do the strat just to make sure there's no enemies right in front of me. I just reveal the trap. Oh, that's a room. Okay. Oh, this is a dead end. Oh, jeez. Do I have an orb? I'm dying here. This is so sad. And I got imprisoned. The only thing I can hope for is like a level up. Why am I losing? Alright, I'm gonna just do some from current floor. So yeah, all my items are gone, which means I have to buy the relic again. But I might get one for like defense or spadef. I'll lose my focus points TM too. Right. Hold on. Alright, so what happened is that there was a bug in unused dungeon chance paths at the time that would crash Melon if it configured or if it loaded a dungeon in a certain way. And so what I had to do was I had this hotfix version that I gave to Yakko at some point for Melon, and I just had to apply that to my hack right now. So my items are a little bit different. I don't have my Wide Slash, and Sapphire now is Disarming Voice. So this is what I have. I had to basically just reload from my save. So it sucks, but at least it wasn't like a terrible time loss. I lost my relic. So yeah, but that is also getting fixed in next version if you couldn't tell. Or it wasn't obvious. I actually tried to whatchamacallit, do the gamble to see if I can get to 10F, and I failed it, so I had to start from 1F again. Oh, didn't mean to speed up. Whew. Nice. A lot of the hell items in here are actually throwing item related. Alright. I actually stopped recording instead of paused this, so that means I have to edit the two footages together instead of just uploading it raw, which is gonna suck. It's going to inflate the file size a little bit. So here's another fixed room that is only used here and not for a boss fight. But yeah. This team, Growlithe, Fungus, Finizen, back when this game was coming out, there was in VGC there was like this big core called Palance, which is where Pals Forever comes from, and it was Palafin, Amoonguss, Arcanine, and also included Fluttermane. So not only does it have like the VGC Firewater Grass Core, but it also a little bit foreshadowing at Fluttermane or Sapphire joining them at the end of the game. Which means I also had the commissioned sprites for Finizen. A skateboard animation I've basically recycled from EOTU so much. So these 3 items that you get here aren't found anywhere else in the game, and they're kind of meant to be more used for the boss fight. And you only get one of them in the entire game. Sirius telling himself to thank himself. Yeah. More foreshadowing. So, what's Sapphire's process, or thought process here is like, why can't my team be like that and less toxic? Because they're starting to pick up on Riolu being a little bit of an asshole. What? I thought I fixed that. Okay, whatever. But the reason that takes forever was meant for a hotfix, but I guess it just doesn't work on Melon. There's a I saw it was not working on Melon, so I made a hotfix for it. Like last minute, right before submission, and I accidentally made that wait time a lot longer. Like it was there. So yeah, that was a mistake. But for some reason, I guess it just wasn't completely fixed. I think I fixed it now. I know what the problem is. It's because the screen is slightly faded out. Anyway, man. So what Sapphire's trying to do is just contemplate, like, why is it that everything is going his way? And the reason it cuts off abruptly is because Sirius can kind of hear them. It's just like, I'm just imagining like the Robbie Rotten, don't let your kids watch it kind of thing. So that's why it cuts off early, so we don't get to hear more of Sapphire's thoughts. Did I misspell actually? No, I don't think I did. So Sirius is basically like, enough is enough. I'm gonna take you back to the crystal and do this the hard way. So the reason why she's compliant here is... Oh, my fan turned off from the power going out. The reason why she's compliant here is, one, just so she doesn't... I guess it's more of just like, don't betray Sirius and you won't get controlled kind of thing. But also, she knows that Sapphire is strong enough to take on Riolu, or take on Sirius. Like, she knows Sapphire can win. Right. Okay, I believe you. Not really. Corviknight, I don't know if there's like an updated Corviknight sprite, but Corviknight was originally supposed to be in the game, but the sprite wasn't finished, so that's why he's here. Do I have enough? I do. Let me grab... Do I want courage or do I want... No, I want defense. This is actually a reference to Explorers of the Spirit. More Leafeon. Strange sus implications. Did Riolu have a say in this? Maybe. Now Cross-Eye Siege will activate Sirius' Steadfast, so just gotta be careful. There's a key. I'm gonna put TMs in there so I don't lose them. I'm actually gonna put a lot of stuff in there. I'm gonna put everything in there, and then only take out the stuff I want. This is just so I can get through the dungeon and then have the stuff in case I decide to just give up and then keep going on later. Excuse me. I'll need this, that. It's these three that are the rare items here. And I'm going to probably use Roar to replace, or Endure, one of the two to replace some moves. Now the thing, or replace Wyguard. Now the thing is with the Sirius boss fight, is that some moves he'll just replace on his own. Because they're useless, like Rock Smash. If you have Rock Smash, he'll get rid of it and replace it with something else. So he kind of cheats. So this, this is Obscurial from Explorers of the Unknown. And this Zora sprite, so this was back in like 2018. I was a VA for a PMD comic dub called Guardians of Hope by Curtis Snivy. It got canceled, but I was still in a server anyway. He's an artist, and at the end of the year, he had like a big, like, kind of like community like mural, or not just a drawing, kind of like a mural or panorama of like all of the people in this community. And he said submit like a Pokemon, and I submitted a Zora with this color palette, kind of like his OC. And I just thought, you know what? Do I still have it? Yes, I do. I'm gonna remake it, put it in here. I actually do really like the colors. I really like the eyes, and the hair are like my favorite two parts. There was originally supposed to be a secret dungeon in the game, but I didn't have the time to finish it. And those two were going to be involved. I'm going to quickly go grab more water. Alright, I'm back. Still mad that I hit stop recording instead of pause. So yeah, it's going to take a while to render tonight. Yeah, so Gemstone Labyrinth. Final dungeon in the game. It's 40 floors, but you only have to do 11 of them. Music is Silent Labyrinth from Live Alive, so another Live Alive music. 8X loves this track. You should go play Live Alive. It's available on Steam. It's another dual mix of the original and remix. Actually, I made this myself. The sword cuts are kind of inspired by Psychic Puppets. Was Adex in the jury? No, he wasn't, because they were shown up by sketches. So, Gemstone Labyrinth is based on Area 0. The lab's at the bottom, there's a lot of crystals, as we'll see later. And all the Pokemon you can find in here are Area 0 Pokemon, including Xylis. And as a fun fact, when I chose the Pokemon for the game, I would choose pre-evolutions of the Pokemon that are in Area 0, or I would choose Pokemon with the same new added ability. So, like, Carbonite has a Nerve, and so I put Litleo and Joltik in the game, which also have a Nerve. Ooh, Wonder Gummy. Ooh, nice critical dodger. Gives it a complete battle armor, which is nice. There was originally going to be a custom tile set for this dungeon, and for the second part of it, but it wasn't done in time. But it is finished now, so it will be in the next update. I say next update, it's just going to be just the one update. What was that? Yeah. Again, made by Alex. Ooh, Warp Scar. I almost said Tyranitar. So if you get the question wrong, you are forced to keep going. And if you lose and then go back to the start, then you'll get the chance to answer it again. But if you get it right and then lose, go back to the start, then the staircase will just be open all the time. This is the tile set that was meant to be the custom one. So here's the only custom ability that people actually know about in this game. Electromorphosis, because it's the most obvious one. Fun fact, I actually had to push for Belly Bolt Sprite to get finished for the game because I didn't realize it wasn't finished. It was like, finish Belly Bolt so we can add Electromorphosis. And they did finish Belly Bolt. So I got my wish. What's 9 plus 10? It's not 21. This quiz was also inspired by a Canadian video. That's Kenad. Wait, how the hell do you spell his name? It's a Minecraft escape room. There's a escape room made by Why Not 690, which his name I should have put in the credits, but I didn't. But yeah, there's another question in this little quiz that's also based on one of his escape rooms that he made for Ken. I don't need relics anymore. Kenadin? I think. I think so. Okay. And this is why I put some of those items in the storage, so I could pick them up at the end of this dungeon. And I'll get a revive receipt for the boss. Anagrams are words that are spelled with the exact same letters. Homograms, I forgot what those meant. Prepositions are like and, but, or, nor. Synonyms are words that mean the same. Master and stream are anagrams because they're both spelled with the exact same letters, just in different orders. I think homographs are like, it's either words that are spelled the same or pronounced differently, or it's words that are spelled the same but mean different things, or words that are spelled differently but sound the same. It's one of those three. I learned it in like first grade. Extra striker, interesting. Yeah, the enemies here have, ooh, gone purple. Exclusive move user. Thunderbolt, interesting. I have Dazzling Gleam, which is just better. This is the only crossroads floor in the entire game. Thought as well, might as well put one in here somewhere. I wanted to have a question in here that was more like dynamic. What did you answer? Like last time, but I either got lazy or just couldn't finish it. The third, first, fourth, that's just pi. And then the second I had to put last since that was the only other number I had left. Is that the only instance of strange sod in the entire hack? Where are you going? Do you have dedicated traveler? Yeah, you do. No money. Sound effects ain't playing. This is another question from that Why Not 690 quiz. A lot of people actually just guessed right the first time, but it's like the internal sum of an angle's dodecahedrons, which are made up of pentagons. I think some people actually figured it out. I love this game. Oh, he's not gonna shoot more? Okay, or throw more? Now he does. Okay, I'm rounded nothing. Why is there a braviary? Oh, it must have been on the other side of the room. This guy's a sheer force sky attack. I think that's the last rock he has. Or she has. Okay. So, there is a lot of stuff in this game that I purposely left, like, ambiguous. But, just remember that there is a sequel planned. I haven't gotten around to, like, working on it at all. But some questions I purposely left unanswered because of the fact that, you know, I will continue this at some point. And I just noticed that the sweat mark on Fluttermane kind of looks like part of that one differently colored stripe of hair. But no, I thought it was just the thing, but that's just the sweat mark. You can go back to Gemstone Labyrinth. You'll be to set to 36F, so you do 5 floors. This is just in case if you like have no items and need to grind. What do I have? This is all I can take. There actually is a hidden forced save when you enter the Crystal Hall. Only 2 people have actually figured this out. One person found it out on their own, and then 8X, I kind of gave him a pointer. But the hint that I'll just give you guys is that the dots and spaces do not matter. Go and find that out for yourself. Anyway, I'll just go in. So the force save is here, and actually, since you can skip the cutscene, in a speed run, you could just turn the game off here and then reset, and then it would think that you went through the cutscene, and you can skip the entire cutscene and go straight to the fight. But the speed run doesn't do this. That's the Luminous Crystal from Shadows of Almia. I forgot to put Shadows of Almia in the credits. Jeez, I just forget to put stuff in the credits. I don't know why. This is one of the friend areas for Unknown and Rescue Team. I think it's called Unknown. It's either Unknown Relic AO or P exclamation mark or question mark. But this is supposed to be one of the crystals from Area 0. That gives all the power. It will be explained in the sequel. This is from Sky Peak. There's a lot of cool sound effects and graphics, like objects from that. Time for the plot twist. Did I misspell oblige? I don't think I did. So I don't think something that's mentioned in the game is that Sirios wanted to be part of like the labs Pokemon, but never got in. But like before it collapsed and stuff. I kind of hinted at it earlier in the commentary, like by accident, but I'll just might as well just say it here. Kind of rumors of magic Pokemon coming to life. I kind of wish I reworded that. I'm not going to change the dialogue in an update. I think the dialogue's perfectly fine. Well, not perfectly fine, but fine enough. The edit was made by Baroness, with the hole in the decrepit lab. Nice, nice cut it in there. Objects in this game kind of suck to deal with, especially the bigger ones. So the whole premise of being able to like warp reality to do whatever you want, it's just, for me, like I've always had like imagine like some characters that just be able to do that, and I commonly associated it with Mew, which is what I said in the SkyTemple podcast interview, like, because for a while my headcanon was like Mew can do literally anything, and that includes control others around them. And I kind of wanted to put that in another Pokemon, but I said in the interview, like, I don't want to all be around legendaries all the time. And the reason why I chose Riolu is, you know, it's kind of like the mascot of PMD, because everyone picks Riolu. And might as well have him, you know, be the spoiled brat that turns out to be a bad guy. But I've kept the wording kind of vague here on purpose, because I just didn't want to kind of let other people like come to their own conclusions. Oh, and this line is from another thing from one of Zoe Alexander's videos. This is what the producers, or it was either the producers or like a newspaper or the news said to her. It's a really powerful line. So why is Sapphire unaffected by the crystal? That will also be explained in the sequel. So then I don't like about this entire sequence, for like the rest of the game, a lot of the characters here say like, they like to list stuff out, like, I think that I did too much of that in these last few scenes in this room. And he's referring to him leveling up. Like, this is what I meant by listing, like, gaps. I did that way too much in this in these scenes. This kind of sounds weird. Another listing. I'll stop pointing them out, but I don't like. Every time I see them, like, why did I do that? Think about it like this: So I forgot about this now. So there's an unused function in vanilla. You can only do half a line break instead of a full line break. And what the purpose is that Sirius is starting to get a little closer to control over Sapphire. It's kind of messed up how he's reacting. I'm actually gonna do the bad ending here first, because I think the cutscene's important enough. It's the only other losing cutscene in the entire game. Mario 64, or no, Paper Mario 64 graphic for the A button. Deadass just hits them with the aloha, which means hello and goodbye in Hawaiian. So it's just like goodbye the old one, hello the new one. You know, I just think it's funny that this is the bad ending, and the music that's plays here is Proud Accomplishment. So the original plan I had for this game over is like a custom artwork of Riolu kind of looking down at Sapphire, and his red eyes would be flickering in like the darkness that would kind of be like seeing the dark. And the music I want to use for this was Fakery Way from Sonic Adventure, which is a very creepy theme. But it's still only like a 30-second loop. But it would be weird seeing that in the credits, and you know, commission budget, so I just went with the normal game over instead. So if I were to reset the game now, I'll speed up this part. It'll ask me to skip, which I won't, but I'm going to cut back to when I actually do the button mashing successfully. Alright, I'm back here. I'm going to do the button mashing, but you don't even need to mash it, you can just hold the button, because of the way I implemented it. But even then, you don't really need to mash like that much. It only asks for like 15 or 16 presses, so... But holding it counts, because it checks every single frame that the button is pressed. Nice leader switching. This leads into like the dialogue that everyone doesn't like. I thought it was funny, and it makes sense because Sapphire's like amazing hair, but everyone was just saying that the dialogue just didn't fit. So the next update, I keep saying next update, just the update will have the option to turn that off and replace it with something more generic. But I'd still want to keep it in there because I thought it was really funny. It goes with Sirius's kind of coping mechanism is just to be not serious. And same with this line too. These were I just copied Riolu and basically turned everything to blue, including the shadows, which is funny. And these versus bars are off center, which is really triggering me. They're based on the platinum versus bars for I think Candace and either Rourke or Maylene, but I think it's Rourke. Music, this is from Conquest when you're battling Arceus for the first time. Remixed by Solar Gress. Amazing remix. If you lose here, then you get the same game over cutscene as before. And Sirius just cannot resist battling, is what you'll find. So I'm gonna quickly use the Quick Seed. And it's important that you get non-sleeper because some of these have Gnosis, and some of them even have bad dreams for their ability. All the clones have 1 HP and have only status moves. Some of them have safeguards, so I can't exactly stun seed right now. Oh, I didn't teach him focus punch. Whoops. Riolu or Cirrus has 600 HP. Can I stall out Safeguard? I don't think I can. Miss? Oh, I can't miss. I'm stupid. Oh, whoops. And it tells the same cutscene again. I thought I had a Reviver Seed. Do I? No, I don't. I'll give you Endure instead of... Metal Claw, actually. Now, the Riolu clones have either Foresight or Odor Sleuth, but it's actually bugged. It doesn't work. Because of the old Add Types patch. It's fixed now. Okay, maybe that was a bad idea. I have non-sleeper anyway. Okay. Oh, jeez, okay. Please do not crit. Thank you. There we go. And their ghost save happens there. So in theory, you could just turn the power off them now, and it would do the same thing. Well, actually, a lot of people did it in Jam 5, where to turn the game off and back on, and something different would happen. But also, there was a lot of times where you had to delete your save data to continue. So, looks like even when Sirius is using save states, still can't outsmart the time traveler. Like, he can't fool the time traveler with time travel via save states. Kind of like Omega Flowey in some way. Now, the side effect of the crystal power is now Fluttervane is now enraged like they were when at the lab, when destroying everything. Kind of a Parker pandering there with that line. He's the only auto weather on the floor. It's kind of to promote the photosynthesis. Riolu's will only do like 1 damage. Let me see if I can... Yep, it has Runaway. Oh yeah, Extra Striker. 300 HP that time. I'm a fire in my ways. Freaking choked when I said that. This is really meant to sell the important memory part of the jam. Pretty sure I just took that cutscene and didn't take the thing and just put it in my little script scene, or put it in like the queue for scenes. Crystal's gone, and now the powers are gone as well. Just dissipate. That Porter edit made by Stolen Burrito or Glack. I really love this scene right here. This is like one of my favorites in the game. Thankfully, Sapphire's calmed down. Being alone can do crazy things to people. So the reason why I have Sapphire like offers to be Sirius's friend again is because, first of all, you know, they want it, but I think forgiveness is like a really, you know, valuable thing, a very, very valuable quality to have as a person. But for me, at least, you actually have to earn that, and I think that it adds a little weight to the story. It's just like, so it's not in the case of, oh, we're gonna disappear, but then you just come back a minute later. This time it actually like sticks, and like, it's not. It's I think someone else described it as dying and then they don't stay dead. I'll see you later. It's the same thing that it was said between Sirius and Aurora right before they left. I don't know what the time is on this fade out, but it's really long. Those are colored like that. I was originally planning to make a logo, but I never did. And those would have been the colors of each of the words in the logo. The song here's Memories Returned, which I kind of joked about. Like, people would use this for the important memory gem. They would use the song called Memories Returned. But it just works. So, yeah, that's RFM. You know, I mean, looking back on this, it's just like, both this and CC, and to some extent Ear to You, are just, it feels like the only hacks I make are, well, this is kind of more comparable to Cryptic Conundrum, is, one is more of a tragedy, but two, well, this one was more funny, but two is to that cosmic horror element, and I had both of those elements used in Ear to You and CC, but I wanted to throw a twist on it this time, and now you are the cosmic horror, aka Sirius. This line was just like, you know what, Aurora said, hey, I can go. I think originally I wanted Riolu to wave goodbye, but it wouldn't work, but I just thought, you know what, no. Why does Fluttermane need Lapras when they can fly? Is because they don't know where to go. The other inspirations, there's a few names. Some of them are the developers of Live Alive, developers of Get Out, or the producers of Get Out, the movie. Great movie, by the way. You should go watch it. And then Zoe Exounder, Toby Fox, and then Tapeface. So I mentioned that's his real name. The water's not animated here, actually. Oh, no, wait, it is. Oh, the flower's not animated. That's what it is. I knew something wasn't animated. So this is kind of the hint I have towards the sequel, although I don't like how Palavin's like mouth is in Crowlet's tail. No, did I say I meant Finizen, excuse me. So yeah. I spent like pretty much every single day during the jam because I was unemployed at the time working on this game. So that's why I was able to get the whole thing done, and I had some time to spare as well. But I don't know if I can do a jam by myself again. It's just so much time, especially now that I have a job. And when will the sequel come out? I have no idea. But I have not forgotten about it, and I do have some plans made for it. So yeah, thank you very much for listening to the developer commentary for RFM. My PC is not going to like rendering this, but if you'd like to see maybe do this for other my games, if you want to see maybe CC, I would probably do the next one. And if you have any like suggestions for what I should do differently next time, then please let me know in the comments. Or just yeah, probably the best place to talk about this. I hope for those of you who stayed this long, thank you very much. And I'm glad that you got to hear me making fun of myself and also do some big expose on my own hack. Um, do I expect other people to do this? Probably not. But I had this idea in mind for like some months now, and I just thought, you know what, I'll just do it. So, with that being said, thank you very much, and I will see you guys next time. Until then, bazinga.